Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome back to Cannon Fodder, the channel for Arsenal fans all over this world. Yes, I'm back doing the morning segments, well, at least for now anyway. It's a long story. I'm going to tell you that a little bit later on in the week. But yeah, we've got some more live Arsenal news for you and some updates that I couldn't do yesterday in the evening with my good friend James Rowe because we were going to be talking about Europa League action as well as the North London derby, and it was only a half an hour show. But going by the analytics and the statistics, it seems like a lot of you actually enjoyed that short segment there, only 32 minutes and then some change. But yeah, so we've got some more news, injury news, as well as other bits and pieces. So I shall see you on the other side of this music intro. Oh, I can't wait. Yes, welcome back, my friends. Welcome back to Cannon Fodder, the channel for Arsenal fans all over this world. Yes, the first segment of the day, Tuesday morning, just 2 minutes after 11 a.m. over here. So 40 minutes by underground train to the Emirates and 45 minutes to the older Harvey Stadium. Well, enough said about that. I'm not going to say nothing more about that. But anyway, guys, make sure you subscribe to Cannon Fodder TV. Hit the bell notification button so you can receive all the latest news right here on this wonderful channel, which is Cannon Fodder TV. Right, that's out of the way. I'm clapping my hands. I'm not sure why I'm clapping my hands. Yeah, so like I said, I did say yesterday morning I wanted to give you some kind of updates on the injuries, especially to Thomas Partey. So we're going to do it now. I couldn't do it yesterday. I couldn't do it yesterday. I didn't do my homework. Some things never change. If any of my teachers from primary school, maybe secondary school, still alive, I'm sure I was thinking, Alex, yeah, you never change, man. You didn't do your homework back in the days, not doing it now, man. What's wrong with you? Anyway, let's get into the first bit of injury news. So, the first bit I'll probably talk about is the Thomas Partey injury. I saw a small snippet of what led up to him walking off. I also saw Graham Sumas and Alex Scott's comments about that, and Jamie Carragher's comments as well about that. What could they have done anything? It's difficult because you could see that I don't know whoever's camera was actually on Thomas Partey, but you could see the ball went down. We were on the attack, so at the moment we were on attack, he tried to come off, and there was a few seconds when it's like Arteta didn't really notice, what Arteta what Thomas Partey was doing, and then when they were on attack, he was telling Thomas Partey to go back. Thomas Partey turned around, about 5 or 6 strides in. He said, "Nah, nah, I'm injured. I can't do this." So I think there was a little window of opportunity, a small window of opportunity to have covered Thomas Partey's position there. A small window of opportunity, but it goes down to not only training but natural instincts and being a top line manager who would have realised that. Listen, my player's injured, because ideally what do you want your player to do? You want your player to drop to the ground, but that wouldn't have stopped the play. That would not have stopped the play. If it was a head injury, then the Arsenal players would have been saying, "Hey, we've got to stop the play." But any other injury, it's down to the discretion of the opposing team and to the referee. So him going down, which I think that's the argument for a lot of people saying, him going down would not have stopped, excuse me, Tottenham on the attack. So yeah, it's a strange one. Anyway. So in regards to his update, I actually also saw. Where am I? Sorry about this, guys. Well, I've lost my point now. Yeah, I saw his post game press conference as well. I wasn't really impressed, to be honest. He does say Arteta is saying this, that he is injured and it is the same. It appears to be the same area, but unfortunately, we don't know how bad it is. So this report was yesterday. So I'm not sure if there's anything updated in regards to today. But I mean, I'm thinking the worst, that it probably is going to be out, for the whole of December. Rushed back too soon. It was rushed back too soon. Period. And I was saying, when he was injured, if he came back and featured, in the North London derby, it would be an absolute miracle. I couldn't see him lasting a full half. Maybe he'll feature for a few moments, maybe in the first half or the second half. But yeah, now he's sustaining an injury that's probably going to exacerbate the first one he had there. So we'll have to wait and see. Have to wait and see. What was the other? Yes. The would-be captain, David Luiz. Yeah, he's injury. Well, actually, the update on this one says you see he was forced off during the game against Wolves, and the statement from Arsenal is that the cut to David head will take some days to heal. Closer care, David's cut and general monitoring is his well-being, and will continue in the coming days. And David continues to be in good health. It is unknown if the defender will be fit enough to play against Dundalk with the club to deliver an official update this week. So yeah, he's again, it's 50-50. We're not sure the situation on David Luiz. Just kind of a little bit worried about, when we've got these players who are injured. It's like the medical team, stroke the manager, don't know what to do in the moment. Anyway, who was the other one? The other one I want to actually talk about very briefly. It's classified as an injury. Was Callum Chambers, and this report here again from the club's website. This is Chambers is another player who failed to be fit for the derby on Sunday. What's going on? Despite making his long-awaited return from injury against Rapid Vienna in the Europa League last week, he was not involved in the squad to take on Spurs in their stadium. The former Southampton defender suffered a ruptured anterior cruciate ligament to the left knee against Chelsea last year, and is only now coming back to full fitness. He could be involved against Dundalk as he continues to be phased back in by Mikel Arteta. So yeah, I don't think it's about injury per se. I think it's more about him having some minutes to try and be match fit rather than be like he's sustaining an additional injury. If you understand what I mean, I think again it's not about injury. It's just about his recuperation and making sure that he's match fit. He might just be on the bench for the Dundalk game on Thursday. Yes, we're back in Europa League action. Guys, get used to it because it might be the last time for a long time. Anyway. And who was the last one? The last one I actually wanted to talk about was my report. Oh, yes, Gabriel Martinelli. We know literally been a long-term injury. We'll have to wait and see. He's been phased back into full training now. I still don't expect to see him maybe towards the end of December, stroke first week in January. That's my month. That's when I was born. So that has been the underlining injury news of today. I can see there's just a couple of comments in the live chat, one of which is from Majid A. It said, "Hi Alex, and how are you, my friend? Partey should have gone down, so the ball would have been put out. Not necessarily. Again, if it's a head injury, then literally it'll be down to the referee to blow the whistle, because head injuries are taken very, very serious. Well, you would have thought. But any other injuries, it's down to the opposing team. It's down to their discretion. They don't have to stop. They don't have to put the ball out of play. And being the North London derby, Mourinho would have been incensed if the Tottenham players, knowing that they were on the attack, Arsenal a man down, and only for them to put the ball out. That wouldn't happen. It wouldn't happen. If it had been a head injury, then definitely the referee would have blown up the whistle. But usually you do see players just go down if they're injured. They just slump to the ground. But that wouldn't have stopped. And believe me, Spurs would not have stopped their attack. All right. What else do we have here? There was some other bits and pieces of news. Yes. I did forget about that was the last bit of news I wanted to talk about. Where's this chap here? Yeah. Nicolas Pepe. This is actually coming from of all people, actually. Well, am I surprised? It could be. I'm not sure. Lundberg says that Arsenal winger actually scores all the time in training. Freddie Lundberg has told Monday Night Football, which is broadcast on Sky Sports, that Arsenal Nicolas Pepe scores all the time in training. Pepe has come in for some criticism during his time at Arsenal, with his performances often inconsistent. The Ivorian has slipped down the pecking order under Mikel Arteta. I'm sure. Listen, after William's display over the last few weeks, I'll put Pepe ahead of him. And actually, no, I'll put Reece Nelson above these two players there. But anyway, that's a story for another day. For his rival of William in the summer. But Lundberg insists that Arsenal's record signing actually has a huge amount of quality. And he says, whatever people say about Nico, he is fantastic. His left foot from the angle is unreal. He scores so many goals in training. That's wonderful. That's really, really good to hear. But he needs to do it in games. Got to do it in the games. Period. Nobody gets a pass. Nico Pepe doesn't get a pass, man. I'm sorry. It's good to hear that he does all those wonderful goals in training, but you need to convert that more often than not in games, Nico. Right, and literally that was the last bit of news that I was going to talk about there. Right, who else have we had come in? Tori Hakim says, hi, Alex, good morning, bro. Let Arsenal sell Luiz as soon as possible this January window. Yeah, I agree with you. I've that sigh there is because, I can clearly see that he's not up to the task. He's not up to the task, period. So I completely agree with that, and let a lot of the other players go with him out of the exit door. And with my big foot, God, take that with you. Don't come back to Arsenal. The mistake was to rush him back for the game. El Neni and Ceballos should have played. Yes, they should have, and Willock should have played as well. It was a big risk to take. I guess maybe they'll have maybe some other news later on today or maybe tomorrow in regards to the Thomas Partey injury. Again, I saw the video snippet. So whilst we begin the attack, you can see he walks off, and then it was weird because you could see it's like Arteta didn't realise that Partey was coming towards him, and then when we're on attack, then he's like trying to push him back. I was thinking the guy should have gone down. Would it make any difference? Possibly no. Should the other players realise what was going on because we were on the attack? Maybe. It was weird. It was weird to say the least. But yeah, I think it was a big risk which did not pay off. Amit, a long while, my friend. A long while. Hey, Alex, he says, will we get mid-table this season? We will, but I'm banking on us not getting any more Europa League action next season for a long while. That's my prediction. My prediction for top six position finish. It's not going to happen, man. Not going to happen. And actually, Amit, what was your prediction for the North London derby? What was your prediction? What is the short-term fix for us to get back on winning and get us back up the table? The short-term fix for me is very, very easy. Maybe I'm making things a little bit too easy for certain people, but it's very, very easy. Stop playing the same players that have failed under Unai Emery and who are failing Mikel Arteta now. What I can't get my head around, I said that, in his press conference, Mikel Arteta, that is, he said that the players did what I asked them to do. Well, it didn't work. Well, it didn't get the results. And you have to be able to change things up in the game. So if you're telling me that they did what you asked them to do, I crossed the balls because we had over 40 odd crosses against Spurs, Auba can't header the ball. Laka is not the greatest header of the ball. There could have been an opportunity, maybe a cutback for maybe the likes of, I don't know, Thomas Partey or Willock or any other midfielder to, score. But if you're telling me the players did what you asked them to do and the end result was you got sucker punched, then your game plan from the beginning was absolutely wrong because you're playing players, again, who should not and do not deserve a spot in the first team. But so for me, it's very, very simple. Stop playing the players who have failed Unai Emery, who are failing you now. That's a short-term fix. The long-term fix has to be we blood players through the academy. Give them an opportunity. That's a long-term goal for me. Arsenal are in a tight position finance-wise. Why? Because we have a lot of players on the wage bill that have been needed to be shifted on for the longest time. We know that. There is our investments. The value of the investments have gone down because almost all the clubs in Europe, across the world, don't have the money. But these are our assets, and the value is falling very, very quickly. So go to answer your question. A, stop playing the players who keep failing you. B, the long-term goal should be to blood in these youngsters and get rid of the deadwood. I hope that answers your question, if that makes sense to you. Good morning, Ax. I hope you are well. More or less. Yeah, a bit of a rough night. A little slight accident at my workplace. No longer my workplace last week on my ankle, so my ankle got a little bit swollen. But thank you for asking anyway. Arteta was for this pushing injury Partey back on the pitch. Yeah, he was. I was thinking, and it is the inexperiencedness, isn't it? And also as well, usually you see players just drop to the ground. They will just drop to the ground. But Partey, well, but yeah, he was rushed back too quick. So I need to maybe do another update, maybe for the evening segment, to see if there's been any more news on Arsenal's website. So we'll see. He should have not played him in the first place. Only must have played. Instead of we get sideways and backwards, slower than a Titanic Shaka. I mean, I'll talk about, and I've spoken about Shaka many times, but going forward, I thought maybe we'll get at least one goal. We couldn't notch up at least one goal. Not one goal. Alba, Laka, who didn't have that bad of a game, Saka, and the main linchpin, Willian. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Shaka. Mikel Arteta, man. You need to bench these players. You need to be strong. I don't know what it is with you. Are you obviously you're trying to prove a point. Yeah, I'm gonna hammer these round pegs into the square holes. It's not gonna happen, Mikel. It's not gonna happen, man. Get the square pegs go into square holes. Period. My prediction before the end of the season was 6th to 8th. Now we will be lucky to get 12th. I'm looking maybe more at 10th, 9th or 10th position. Oh, sorry, people. What's happening here? Boyd, Peter, hey, my friend. Thank you for those really kind comments that you've been sending over the last few weeks. Mikel Arteta, out, please. Well, it wasn't good enough. Was it, Mikel? You said to them, clueless manager out of his depth. Alan Brammer, good morning, my friend. Hi, Alex. Greetings from Trinidad and Tobago. Hey, I went to Tobago many years ago. Lovely island, but I went with the wrong woman, man. Oh, my goodness, that was a nightmare. But I'll tell you that story another day, man. But yeah, welcome. Greetings, man. Greetings from Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah, man. Trini, man. Trini. Appreciate every minute of your show. Alan, thank you so very much. Make sure you share your thoughts with your friends and family as well. If you've got any other Arsenal supporters over there, I need to kind of make another trip over there. Yeah, to the Trinidad, man, and Tobago. Alex, I always back my team against those lot. I don't. But what was your prediction? You got your prediction wrong, didn't ya? I always back my team against any opposition. I don't. You've got to be realistic, man. You've got to be realistic. This is not the Arsenal of old, man. It's not the Arsenal of old. So I agree. I need to play the young players and informed players for now until we make significant changes. What can I say? Again, if you're making a cake and the cake is disgusting, you've got to change the ingredients. You can't keep using the same ingredients and expecting a different taste. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's do these players guarantee minutes put into? And this is what I'm saying. I am suspicious of Willian's contract. I'm sure it must say in his contract that whether my client is playing well or not, you have to play him in all the Premier League games. I'm absolutely suspicious of that. That the guy has played so bad, and yet he still sees more minutes than Reece Nelson. It's for me. It's yeah. But a contract can contain anything, any clause there. But with Willian, I'm absolutely sure this is what he has in his contract there. Okay. Oat. T. Depending on how you're pronouncing the E. Is it the E or the E? If I'm Arteta, I would just take risks now and play Emma Smith Rowe, Isabella Niles, Nelson, Bellingham, and I would drop Alba too. You guys don't want to listen to me. You don't want to listen to me. I've been saying to drop Alba for the longest time. Yeah, and they were saying on Sky Sports, it seems like he was promised something before signing the contract, and it hasn't materialised. Well, we've got Thomas Partey, we've got Gabriel, who are upgrades. Would I want to pay that money? It's another story. Would I prefer to play the other players coming through the academy? Possibly yes, yes. But yeah, Alba is in a big sulk now, man. Testify, Alimeo. I know you've put in a comment there about a number 10, but I'm not going to entertain that debate there, my friend. I'm very, very sorry. We've donated enough time to our number 10. You know my thoughts about him. If you don't, the fact that don't even want to talk about it should tell you a little bit of the story. Colin Young, good morning, my friend. I hope you are well, my friend. Alex, no player will come to our club. Even teams like Chelsea, City, and Leeds are more attractive options. You say that, but then we got Thomas Partey, and Atletico Madrid are in the top 3 positions now, top places now in the Spanish league. So Arsenal are still an attraction or attractive club for players, but we're not going so much on recent success. It's more about the history of the club now. Things will need to get a lot worse before things can get better. If Arteta did not stop playing those players that are not in form, we will end up playing Champions next season. Believe me. Good morning. The Assemble says it doesn't really matter who is the manager, as they have said. Anyway, the problem is the board. Ingers, are you hearing this? It doesn't matter which manager comes in now. With these set of players, they're still going to fail, whoever you are. I want to see the following 11 going forward, which Arteta would never play. A 4-3-3 formation. Leno, Tierney, Gabriel, Saliba. Good shout. Good shout. I mean, the Saliba situation for me is ridiculous. Ridiculous. The guy decided to stay with St. Etienne, for another season to prove himself. He came to us. The pandemic happened. Play him. Register him as a Premier League player, Arteta. Anyway, Maitland-Niles, good shout. Partey, good shout. Willock, Smith Rowe, Saka. You would still play Alba. Ingers, you would still play Alba? What's wrong with you, man? And Pepe. I agree with literally everything. All the players you said there, apart from Alba. Anyway, it's your opinion, isn't it? There you go, Alex. You said it. I didn't say anything. Fitz, I'm so hello, Alex. I think that we have to give Arteta time. We know what he can do, so I think we have to give him more time. Ingers, are you reading that? We've got to give him time. It won't make any sense to get rid of him now and bring another manager. And then what's going to happen? Like I said the other day, and like I said last season, when Emery got sacked, and people gave me a hard time. I remember on the podcast I was on, I was furious. Taking it like it was a joke. It's no joke. When you've got a new manager who comes in, naturally he's going to say, right, okay, this player I've been saying for the longest time, I don't fancy him. These players I don't want, but I want these players. The dynamics changes when you have a new manager. Some players are not going to feature, other players are. Same thing that happened with Unai Emery. He came in, he fancied some players, he didn't want other players. Mikel's come in, the same thing, the dynamics have changed. If you get another coach that comes in, or another manager, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? It's going to be the revolving same story happening again. Some players, maybe favorite players of yours, Ingers, the manager might not fancy it. Then you're going to start complaining on Canon 4 TV. Oh, yeah, but you wanted Arteta out. I'm not down for that. I'm not down for that. We've got to keep and support this manager through his good times and a lot of bad times. Period. Getting rid of Mikel Arteta now is not going to solve anything. It's not. It's going to make even problems even worse. Then after 18 months, we're going to be in the same, revolving situation. Yeah, we're not happy. He's lost games, doesn't know what he's doing. Sack him after 18 months. Yeah, we lost some games, doesn't know what he's doing. Sack him. You've heard me say this for the longest time now. Alex, I have been very, very angry at Arsenal. That's why I have stayed away. I have to come to terms with the fact that we will finish in 12th or below. Anything else will be a bonus. Yeah, again, my sixth place finish is under threat, man. Sixth place. God, dairy me, man. Whoops. Get rid of Nketiah and Laka. Have Bellingham on the bench as an option. You know my thoughts on Nketiah. He has not had a sustained run in the first team. I'd far rather get rid of Laka. And it's funny, I was watching another podcast. I'm not going to mention their name. They were saying that there was some talk about Laka wanted to be sold. Laka wanted to be sold in the transfer window. I listen. I didn't pick up any news about that. But again, this is coming from a reputable podcast. I don't get to see him too much, but I thought, I was doing some housework, doing some DIY. They spoke about Laka, and apparently Laka wanted to be sold in the transfer window. In January, I would buy Buendia or Szoboszlai and bring in Emil Smith Rowe in that midfield. So I would have a midfield of Partey, Emil Smith Rowe, and Buendia or Szoboszlai. Not bad, not bad. What about the youngsters? Miguel Aziz, man, or Willock? Partey is one of the few decent players we have alongside Tierney, Gabriel Martinez, Saka, Martinelli. These are the guys we need to build around. I completely agree with you, Ingers. And well, you could throw in there as well, Leno as well. For me, that would be the spine of the team right there. That would be the spine. That's a good shout there. Good shout. As when Alba signed with the big announcement, didn't the atmosphere seem odd to surrounding the whole thing? Everyone has a clean slate. Came out and everything is history ever since. How can a player like Aubameyang, the way he plays, be so different? What has happened there? Something has changed. Now, I don't know whether it's player power, the players don't believe in Arteta's plans or project or whatever you want to call it there. But how is it possible? Alba, he's changed. Even his body language has changed. It's weird. It's really, really strange. Levan J says, morning, Alex. How are you, my brother? I am fine, my friend, apart from my ankle problem and lack of employment. Well, I've got another project coming up, but we'll have to wait and see. Maybe my boss is watching now, but I don't care. He's not my boss. He's my consultant. I work through an agency. I don't have a boss. The only boss I have is myself, and maybe, not maybe, the Almighty as well. But I'm fine. I hope you're well. The Assemble is right. It doesn't matter who the manager is. Cronkies don't care about Arsenal. They are just a cash cow to silent Stan. Ingers, are you reading this? Are you reading that? Doesn't matter who we bring in, man. It's the board and the manager at blame because the board chose the manager. If we had O'Leary and Adams in jobs that Vinay and Edu have, it would be much better, I'm sure. But you mentioned Adams doesn't have any. I mean, the footballing people, I would love them to be on the board, and I'm not sure why O'Leary is not a board member. You see him at all the away games. You see him in the stands. Would I like Adams to be in the board? No, I wouldn't. I would want him to be behind the scenes training his players and talking to his players and having them up against the wall. That's where I want to see Adams. Yeah? Maybe Arteta needs that. He needs a Steve Bold, not the silent Steve Bold we saw under Arsene Wenger, the vocal Steve Bold, a Keown, a Tony Adams, those players there who give these players a good kick up the backside. But we'll also be talking and speaking to Arteta and saying, Arteta, clearly these players are not good enough. Choose the players coming through the academy, and the 19s and the 23s. Give them a chance. Maybe that's where the disconnect is. I would love O'Leary to be a board member. I wouldn't want to see Tony Adams to be a board member. I want to be at ground level. No, don't give him any time. Chosen Bellerin. Other manager would not choose Bellerin and Xhaka because they would see that they are not good enough. Would any other Premier League managers choose them? No. I completely agree with you. Fitsum says, just imagine if you, me, and Ingers are the managers of Arsenal. What? My goodness. What can I say, man? No player would want to play under my tutelage. None of them. I'll be putting fire up their backside. Sorry, but I'll put no. I shouldn't say that. I would give them. They wouldn't play. They wouldn't play. You're not listening to me? I'll drop you. And I always, talk about, the 89 documentary. When you've got Paul Merson who says they were training, running. And like, as he was passing George Graham, he kind of laughed and giggled because George Graham was said to the players, come on, up the speed. And that little laugh and giggle, you know what happened to Paul Merson? The next available match, he got dropped. Back in the day, you would see, the starting 11 who was going to be on the team sheet. His name was not on the team sheet for 2 months. 2 months, just because of a laugh and a giggle. Go back, look at the documentary. Paul Merson talks about that. Much less for players who are not performing. So, yeah, Fitzer, I'll tell you, man, Ingers, myself, and you, if we were part of the coaching stroke management group there, the players wouldn't want to play under me. I'm telling you now. I wouldn't suffer fools gladly. Well, Arteta recently said he will need 5 to 6 players to play the system he wants to play. So he still needs to build his team. These players can do what he wants. Yeah, I was going to say something, but I'll leave it just there. Levan J says, unless Arteta is fully backed in the transfer window by the board and Kroenkes, he can't do much with these current poor players we have. But he can use the alternatives, Levan. He can use the alternatives. There are alternatives he can be playing. Stop playing Willian, instead play Nelson. Stop playing Xhaka, instead play Miguel Aziz. Or better, so Emma Smith Rowe. There are alternatives that he's not using. And you know what? I spoke about Saka 2 weeks ago with the report that Ian Wright said that it's unfair for Arsenal to put so much responsibility on Saka's shoulders. And I can see it now. We're going to burn him out. We're going to burn this 18-year-old out, man. How can you know it will be worse? If Allegri came in, he would choose players better than players that an Arteta choose, better than Xhaka, Willian. He would make us attack again and score goals again. But you imagine, you mentioned Aubameyang there. You mentioned Aubameyang in your I'll do 11 there. Imagine if Allegri comes in, and he doesn't fancy half of the players that you mentioned there. The dynamics changes. The players that we love or we have emotional connections with, maybe a new coach will think, oh, actually this player's rubbish. So your 11 there, Ingers, you have an Allegri comes in, maybe half of those players there, he won't fancy. And then we're going to start grumbling again. Oh, he's not playing the players that he should be playing. Why Stan Kroenke? I don't know. Because we have to wait for somebody else to come in. Or are you saying, why are we blaming Stan Kroenke? Well, because he's the owner of the club. Everything you see that happens on the pitch is because of the mentality and the motivation at the top. The mentality, they don't have a winning mentality. There's no motivation. That is indicative of what's happening at the top. Alex, let's just play our under 23s in the league. I'll go for that. Forget the league, it lost. Play our best team in the Europa League. I think it's a bit too early for Aziz. It would be good for him to go on loan for a year. I would prefer to see an Aziz play in the Europa League stroke cup games rather than put him out on loan. But that's just my opinion. The biggest problem in Arsenal is the owner of the club. Alex, focus on it. Well, I've been saying for the longest time that. On Friday, we're going to have a special guest. When I asked for the request, I communicated with him on Twitter, and he said yes. I thought, oh my goodness. So we're going to be talking about the ownership and the recruitment at Arsenal. Come the Easy Talk this Friday for special guests. I'm not going to tell you who it is, but I will say that I'm going to have James Rowe, I'm going to have North Bank Ninja, and also I'm going to have El, the original Godfather, on the Easy Talk this Friday. It's going to be an interesting one. It might just be a watershed moment for Canon 42, but we'll have to wait and see. But we're talking about Kroenke and the recruitment strategy that Arsenal had and have now. So make sure you subscribe to Canon 40 TV. What does Vinay bring? What does he actually do? Well, he's supposed to be the mechanics in regards to the finance, isn't it? I think. Stroke transfers. I think. I don't know. I have no idea. But we're going to be talking about him and all them lot in the board, the director of football, finance, and everything at Arsenal. Come the East Talk on Friday, 7:30 p.m. Chuguna says morning night. So let's hope this spell is he calm the calm before the Aubameyang storm. I think he just needs to, he needs to be benched, Aubameyang. Actually, imagine what Tony Adams would do to bet. He would rip him to pieces. So that's what I said. I don't want Tony Adams to be at board level. I want him to be at ground level with these players. Oh, God, daring me. I said a report yesterday what Tony Adams said about Bellerin. This player looks like he's never played football before. How many foul throws? Is it 5 foul throws? Bellerin should be ashamed of yourself. Absolutely ashamed of yourself. For me, the biggest problem is the bad decisions we have been making for the last 10 years. It's not all the owner's fault, but also the people below him. We have made really bad decisions in the market. We're going to be talking about that on the Easy Talk come this Friday. Make sure you stay tuned. The recruitment process. Oh, dear. I see a lot of people say, about Raul Sangelli, the Gazidis. But even before then, we had a good policy of recruitment, and we're going to be talking about that come the Easy Talk this Friday. I'm not going to say nothing more than that. Let's have a look. I will choose better players in the starting 11 at least, and actually ship Deadwood out unbiased. No, Ingers, I completely agree with you. I will say it again. I would take that that hit. I will sacrifice for Arsenal not to sign any new players come January if it meant we had at least 5 to 6 players leaving Arsenal. That's the way we have to go come January transfer window. I don't want to see incomings. I only want to see outgoings. We've got these assets there. The value's dropping very, very quickly. Get them off the wage bill. Alex, would you take Rafa Benitez at Arsenal? I remember that question. I didn't get back to you, did I? Maybe in the past. Maybe in the past I would have, but not now. Not now. Because we've got Mikel Arteta, have we? Maybe in the past, yeah. I would take Benitez at Arsenal right now. Smart and experienced. I would get these rubbish players on the bench first and then out of the club after. Alex, us Arsenal fans should unite to get the Cronkies out. Look what Liverpool fans did to get the Hicks and Gillett out. What do you think? Yeah, we've spoken about this many times, James Rowe and myself on Cannon Foy TV. I often looked at the blueprint at Man City. And I said, that is what we need to attain. No, no, no. Liverpool's, what they do there, the ownership there, this is what Arsenal should be like. Why? They stick with the manager. They put the faith and trust in the manager. Now, I know a lot you can say, but he came from the Bundesliga. He had some success. But the prototype for Liverpool, there is a video that the Athletic have done about the history with Liverpool there and the sponsorship deal they did. Wonderful. That should be our blueprint right there that we should follow. But with that means you support and you believe in the process, whatever that means, the process or the project at the hands of the manager. When you plant a seed, it doesn't grow instantly. You've got to nurture it, you've got to water it, you've got to give it light. It takes time. It takes time. But yeah, that's a good shout there, man. Yeah, Hicks and Gillett, they got them out, and look at them. Van Dijk is out. Matip is out. But you wouldn't have thought. They're still going all guns blazing, man. They're still going all guns blazing, and I think Liverpool will win the league. It won't be them not down the road. I disagree. Kroenke has no input at all, and money is always available. Spurs spent 20 millions in the transfer window and are first while we are being dragged down to the relegation zone. Great, Mikel. The only thing I can say to you is, when you spend money, it doesn't guarantee success. Man United spent more than £500 million over the last, 3 or 4 seasons. It does not guarantee success. That's one thing. The other thing as well, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. So as much as Spurs and the way they play the football, they've got at the top of the league. Who's going to be there at the end of the season? That's what really counts, Ingers. Spending millions of pounds does not guarantee success. Benitez is a good manager and would be a decent choice, but I would still say Arteta should be given more time, at least until January. Got to give the guy time, man. Got to give him time. Cyril, my friend, says Allegri is not good enough. Tell that to Ingers, because Ingers was saying that he would like Allegri to come in. But also, it's a proven fact. Get Hans Flick 1 minute coaching. Arteta can be assistant coach. Someone did say that actually. Rather than sacking Arteta, make him like an assistant coach, and then you could see that he'll be at his beloved Arsenal, but he'll be learning from an experienced coach. But then he was under the tutelage of Pep Guardiola. But that's a good shout. Hans Flick, why not? Tammy, I'm still waiting for Saliba, and so am I, man. I can't believe that. Really, I can't believe that with Saliba. I say play the kids with Partey, Tierney, Gabriel, Martinelli, Saka, and Cedric, mixing some of, and we can find the kiddos that can and cannot. Yeah, I understand what you mean. It's got to be a mixture of the youngsters with these players there. You know what, Arteta, he does make me laugh. I'm thinking you're choosing Bellerin over Cedric Suarez. Dear, a guy who gets into the final third, who knows how to cross the ball, a guy who has a better understanding on the right hand side with Pepe. Well, Pepe's been out, for 3 games. He got, suspended 3 games. But how is it you keep choosing Bellerin, man? Come on, Arteta. Come on. I'm late. Just speaking. Big up, Alex, my man. Thank you, John Wayne. I hope you're well. I guess maybe now that I've reached it, maybe you've probably checked out. But thank you for that short comment there in a live chat. We've just been talking about, well, first and foremost about the injuries. Very, very quickly. I spoke about this guy here, David Luiz, not in that particular order. David Luiz, and he's still being monitored. The cut that he sustained, they're saying that it will take some time to heal. But his well-being is most importantly. But they're not sure whether he's going to feature on Thursday against Dundalk. Yes, we are back in action against Dundalk on Thursday. And then we spoke about Thomas Partey, who sustained the injury. I saw the small 30-second snippet when he came off. He came off because you could see our players were on the attack. We were in transition, so he came off rather than slumping to the ground. And it was weird because it's like Arteta didn't realise that Thomas Partey was coming to him, and then when clearly by that time the footage was the sideline, and what the frame was only Thomas Partey and Arteta, you could see there was like they were on the attack, and he tried to push Thomas Partey on. He made maybe 5 or 6 steps, and then the little snippet cut from there. So what they're saying is, as of yesterday, in his press conference, that they don't know the extent of his injury there. So I guess maybe later on today I need to find out, what's the situation with that. Also spoke about Callum Chambers. Interestingly, it's not an injury per se. It's more like about him. He didn't feature on the subs bench for North London Derby, and I think again it's more like he needs more game time. He needs to be match fit rather than an injury per se. So that was what we were talking about today, John. I hope you're well, my friend, and hopefully we'll see you for the evening segment. Yes, I'm going to be giving you some more news in the evening as well as every morning. I want David Dean back at Arsenal. Remember his passion for the Arsenal, Alex, and it was good recruitment. Levan, we're going to be talking about that come Friday on the Easy Talk. I can't wait. It's going to be an interesting one, man. Oh, dear. There you go. Yeah, bring back David Dean. We're going to be talking about that. We'll be talking about it on Friday. Peter, Canon, what can I tell you? I can see you in a lot of pain. The same. I'm only in a little bit of pain because of my ankle, not because of Arsenal, man. Arsenal is Arsenal, isn't it? Alex, thanks for the great job. I really do appreciate it. And Peter, thank you very much for your kind comments over the last month or so. I hear that Arteta wants about 45 players out by Jan, so I hope it's true. And the likes of Kolasinac, Socrates, and more are out. Isn't it amazing? Arsenal's fan base can agree what to disagree about. Yes. Yeah. But we have the biggest social platform networks on social media. I can't say nothing more than that, man, because I'm part of that, aren't I? Try and do the right thing on Canafoy TV. I hope that's true, Majid. Those players need to go, and a lot more as well. Proven fact. Proven where? Why is Allegri not good enough, in your opinion? I'll leave it for Cyril to respond to. As update on Gavin Martinelli. Yeah, he's just, in full training now. I don't want to see him rush back. I don't want to see this youngster rush back for him to sustain, an additional injury. I want to see him come back in time. But as of now, he's back in full training. Yes. But I want to see him back in January, not in December, please. Let's not rush him back. Hans Flick would not leave Bayern Munich at the moment, unfortunately. As a big club as we are, why would he leave Bayern at the moment? Look at Bayern compared to us right now. Well, he could do. He might think, oh, there's a project for me to get my teeth into. Arteta would be sacked after Boxing Day embarrassment against Chelsea. Mark my words. Why would Bayern Munich manager leave them to come to us? Jokers. Peter says, Alex, what do you think of Tony Adams' photo a few weeks ago? He suggested bringing back. What do you think of Adams? I disagree with it. I completely disagree with that. You know my thoughts on our number 10. I'm not going to get into that. But yeah, I disagree with it. And it's funny because he has said at one point that that player, now Arsenal could do that. Now he's come back and saying that Arsenal should be playing the number 10. So for me personally, I'll stick to my opinion. I'm not going to get into that. Ismail says, I am late and late for a very important date. Inga's watching the Serie A Bundesliga for 59 years. I should know. Allegri inherited Antonio Conte's team. Ingas, you can't argue that. 59 years, man. That's almost my lifetime. Wow. Do you remember we were told the reason for moving to the Emirates was to compete with the likes of Bayern? Look at the difference now. I always get emotional. I get emotional when people, mention the Highbury Stadium. Not the fact that because I played there, I did play there in my younger days. But yeah, that we were sold the lie. We're going to be, moving from Highbury, a beloved Highbury, to go to the Emirates, where we call it now the library because you don't hear any noise there. But we were sold the lie, and I tell you, it really cuts deep because I used to live less than, I'll say, less than 20 minutes from the old Highbury Stadium. I went to school at Highbury Grove, which is a few minutes from the stadium. I used to play cricket and football a few minutes from the stadium. So to see that and see what it is now, that cuts deep to me, man. But yeah, we were sold a big lie. We're leaving there to compete with the big clubs in Europe. A big lie. But yeah, I always find myself getting a little bit emotional when I talk about the old Highbury Stadium. Oops. 6 Serie A titles and always took the team far in the Champions League. He's much better than Arteta, though, isn't he? He would play Bellerin, a right back who can't take a throw in, would he? Oops. Give us a clue on who special guest is. I will say this. No, I'll give you a little clue because I still need to send the topics out to all the guests. I will tell you on Thursday. I'll give you a little clue on Thursday who the person is. Okay, and the platform that he's part of. I think, oh my goodness! And when I sent the request, thinking, I just I hope with the Edu request, which didn't come through. Even though it might come through, you never know. I said, oh, okay, I'm going to ask this person, would you mind? And a few minutes afterwards, he responded by saying, usually I would, but I can't because it's very, very busy. And that was back during the pandemic. I said, okay, I'll try back again. And he said, yes. I was thinking, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So what I'll do, I have yet to finalize the topics. All that's going to be based around the recruitment of Arsenal. I usually send the topics out on a Wednesday to all the guests so they can do their research and be prepared for the Easter talk on a Friday. But I will tell you on Thursday, or I'll give you a clue on Thursday who the person is. I thought, oh my goodness, unbelievable. It really irritates me. Arsenal fans lowering their expectations and trusting this man who has not improved the team one bit. 6 losses in 11, a draw in 9 games, 2 goals in 7 games. It is terrible. Yes, it is. At least Arsenal ladies are doing something right. The guy should take some notes. I have to laugh because I shouldn't laugh because yeah, one of my usual contributors, Alfie, the cheeky chappie, said, "You know what? until the guys fix up, I'm going to be watching Arsenal ladies. And he's right. He's right, man. Can't wait for the number 10 to, so we can free up some wages and get the gaffers in. Yes, I agree. Arteta will be, this is a special guest. I'll get my questions ready for him. Trust me, I would ask him proper ones. Yeah, it's not Arteta. I wish it was. I wish it was. But it's not. It's not. Alex, Partey and Martinelli will not be back until after the transfer window. Let's see who gets injured in the transfer. They can't be sold. The more things change, the more they stay the same. Yeah, like I said, I don't want Martinelli to be rushed back. Please, please let him go through the. We saw the news when he got injured. We're not going to see him until January. Keep it at that. I don't want to see him this side of 2020. Please. Oops. Unlike what Arsenal journalists asked him, I don't care what Wenger or Pep think. It's Vinay. No, it's not Vinay. It's not Vinay. Is there any facts that the Deadwood players leave by January, like Mustafi and Kolasinac? I hope. Again, George Graham, when he came in, got rid of your Tony Woodcocks, your Kenny Sampsons, all the so-called luxury players. And I was thinking, oh my goodness. And the players will tell you in the documentary, they were scared of George Graham. It's not a popularity contest. You are the players, I am the manager. I manage you, you listen to me. Period. Everyone's different. I'm not asking Mikel Arteta to be like George Graham, but he's got to be a lot more stronger. Be bold enough to drop players who are not performing. That's what I'm asking for. Is the guest a former player, Alex? Teaser. No, it's not a former player. It's not a former player. It's not. It's not. It's Wenger, and he will announce it. I tell you what, if it was Arsene Wenger, I would tell you now. Bring up the ratings. No, it's not Arsene Wenger. It's not an ex-Arsenal player. It's not an ex-Arsenal player. But the content that they do, and the person who came from a reputable channel over here in the UK, and he now works for this channel. That I tell you what, yeah, it's going to be a really interesting one on Friday, man. I kid you not. I honestly think Freddie Ljungberg would have been doing a better job. At least he played Martinelli and Alba and Pepe against West Ham, and all three of them scored in that game. But I hope the guest is Ian right. It's not an ex-Arsenal player. It's not an Arsenal player. It's not an ex-Arsenal player. No. Although I don't think he's played for any. I need to check his profile actually. Hi everyone in Kent. Well done, my friends. Bring George Graham back and give him Arteta's job. Listen, he celebrated his birthday this week, didn't he, George Graham? A lot of these players will be running for the hills, man. Hey, George Graham's coming back. I'm out of here. Come on, Arsenal fans. Let me down. You let me down against Spurs. Yes, yeah, we did, man. But Kent, I've got to say, I knew we were going to lose. I couldn't see where we were going to win, but I thought we were going to score one goal. A complete and utter shutout, 2-0. And with Marino, once he scored the goals, he parks the bus, didn't he? And that's what he did. We fell right into his hands. Especially against his Alba. If it was, we'll have a lot of questions to ask him. He'll explain his poor form on Canal 5 TV on Monday. It's on Friday. This Friday, people. Fans let you down. What? The manager and his useless players did. Wanted you to win big time. Yeah, for those of you who didn't know, Kent is a Liverpool supporter, and we invite any other supporter from other clubs into the live chat. We need to be respectful to, doesn't matter who you support. Even if it was a Spurs fan, we invite them in. It's football, isn't it? It's football. Bedouin will be Alex's. If only. Guys, I think I'm going to wrap up this one, actually. We're going just for short. Actually, now for 1 hour. The only good remembrance we had is the clock from Ivory. Yeah. Guys, I'm going to be back in the evening, give you some more live news. I think I'm done dusting now. It's just for an hour now. Yeah, give you some more live news. I might try and see if there's any updates in regards to Thomas Partey. Anyway, listen, he's injured. We might not see him now play again this side of 2020. We're not going to see, I hope we're not going to see Martinelli this side of 2020. Please do not rush him back. Let him come back in January. That was the initial report we had there. So that has been it. That has been it. Thank you to each and every one of you. Ingers, behave yourself. Behave yourself, Ingers. Behave yourself. Yeah, I'll be back 7:30 p.m. to give you more live news on Canon 4 TV. Those of you who tune in for the first time, make sure it's not the last time. Make sure you subscribe to Canon 4 TV. We've got the Voice of Reason segment, my brother segment, coming up tomorrow. There might be some other pre-recorded videos coming up today in between this live show and the evening live show. And we'll have to wait and see what happens from there. We'll have to wait and see. On Thursday, I'll give you some hints as to who the person's going to be and give you hints as to the platform that he works for. Some serious stuff. It's not an ex-footballer. It's not someone who's played for Arsenal before. Believe me. Nah, he's not played. He's not played for Arsenal before. Anyway, guys. Take this pushing party on to speak. English, behave yourself. Anyhow, so I shall see you at 7 p.m. UK time. Thank you for those of you. I saw the numbers just creep up like 30 odd, 40 odd, I think, at any one time. Make sure you subscribe to Canon 4 TV. Hit the bell notification button so you can receive all the latest news right here. I need to drink some water. I haven't like my water here because my tongue is getting very, very dry. If by chance you've been wondering who or what you've been listening to, well, you've been listening to Canon Fodder, the channel for Arsenal fans all over this world.